What's up, y'all? It's Shay and welcome to my channel. I know it's been a good minute since I've been on here. I believe it's been like almost a year since I've recorded a video, but I wanted to come on here so I can share some tips with you guys on how I passed my NCLEX in 75 questions, and I wanted to help you guys by giving you some tips so you guys can pass as well. I don't want this video to be too long, so I will go ahead and hop into it. Okay, so the first thing that I did was created me a study plan, and I did this because initially when I started to study, like I really didn't know where to start, and I was just doing questions, and I'm the type of person that needs structure in order to be able to learn and retain new information. So what I did was created me a 30-day study guide, and what I did is each day, well, like every 2 days I focus on one topic. So maybe like day 1 and 2 I did maybe like respiratory, day 2 and 3 I did like cardiac. And what I would do is I would listen to review videos in the morning time, and then once I finished listening to those review videos, then I would do some practice questions. And I tried to do my schedule in a way that it would work with my work schedule, because the job that I had, I could like work early in the morning, and then I have like a few hours in between for break, and then I'll go back later in the day. So during that time, it was perfect for me to look at some review videos and, you know, do a few questions. And then later on, like when I would get home, I would do some additional questions. I would do maybe about 50 questions over the content that I had learned for that day. And then the remaining questions that I would do, it would just be like random questions. And the reason I study by systems is so that I can, you know, retain more information. And I thought that would be a better way for me to prepare for the NCLEX, because the NCLEX, like, you're going to go over, it's going to bring in so much information all the way from like your entire journey through nursing school. So I study by systems. That worked for me. Also keep in mind, if y'all see me looking down, I'm just looking at my notes that I have here so that I won't miss anything. So the next tip that I have is you want to make sure you do at least 75 questions a day. And I think that was the key for me to being successful on the NCLEX. The more questions that I did, the more likely I would see questions similar to similar on the NCLEX, if that makes sense. So just study as many questions as you can in a day. Just don't overwhelm yourself. Like if you find that you're like getting a headache, if you can't like focus, then maybe you need to take a break and start fresh the next day. So try to do at least 75 questions a day, even if you have to split it up throughout the day. Just get it done, and like I said, do as many questions as you can, and that would be very beneficial. Okay, so the next tip that I have is, let's see. Also remember that as you are doing questions, you want to take notes over the concepts that you missed while going through the question bank. Try not to spend so much time on the questions that you miss, but like once you read the rationale, then it's like, oh, okay, like now I understand. You want to only take notes on the questions that the content is like difficult for you to stick, so that you can go back and review it later on. I did go, like, for the question bank that I use, I did go back over like the missed questions that I got wrong, and that also helped me to recall the information that I had learned, so that if I see another question that's similar, then I will know what answer to select and why I'm choosing that answer. So keep that in mind. So when you take your notes, you don't want to be writing a book. Just write down the notes in your own words, and only write down concepts that's difficult to stick, okay? So the next topic that I have, let's see. Okay, so as far as review videos, I use Simple Nursing, and also I use Archer. Now with Simple Nursing, I will say, like, he is so awesome. I believe his name is Mike. He ensures that his audience stays engaged, and Also, he has like a Q bank after each video so that you can test your knowledge. And then what I like most, not only that he keeps you engaged, but he also his videos aren't long. So like Archer, their videos are good, but their videos are like long lectures, maybe like 2 hours long or even sometimes 3 hours long. And I'm the type of person, like, I'm gonna lose focus. Like, I can't like sit there and watch a video that long and retain information. So that's one thing that I did like about Simple Nursing, and I will say like he was very beneficial to my success on passing the NCLEX. I did utilize Archer review videos. They were helpful as well, but like I said, some of their videos are really long. But they did talk about concepts that are commonly seen on the NCLEX, which I thought was beneficial. So I watch Archer review videos and also Simple Nursing. Let's see here. Oh, okay, so I utilize Archer, and when I did the question bank every Friday, I made it a mission to complete a readiness assessment. Now on Archer, they tell you like if you complete 4 to 5 readiness assessments and you score high or very high, then you have an increased chance of passing the NCLEX. So I was able to score like very high, and you know that also boosted my confidence. So I thought that was very beneficial in helping me determine like my readiness to take the NCLEX. So make sure if you purchase Archer, then make sure you do those readiness assessments. Now they do have the CAT exams. I didn't really like the CAT exams too much, but I believe the readiness assessment, those will help better determine like where you're at and your likeliness of passing the NCLEX. Now, don't get me wrong, like there are some people that don't get like a very high or high score and they still pass the NCLEX, even like if they have like a low chance of passing, like they still pass the NCLEX. But if you have a very high chance, like you should be good. So whatever score you have, like don't let it discourage you. There was like when I would do like practice assessments, like there were times like I would get just a little bit higher than the average peer, and then sometimes I would even get like lower than the peer average. But you know, I didn't let that discourage me. But what I mainly focused on was making sure that I get through almost the entire question bank, because the more questions that I can go over, the more likely I will see questions similar to, you know, that on the NCLEX. So I think towards the end I only had about 400 questions left, so I got through majority of the question bank. I believe it was like 2,800 questions on there. So yeah, I was not playing. I was doing questions like every single day. The only time I would take a break is on a Sunday, and that was just my day for like self-care, just, you know, a time for me to relax and, you know, just focus on something else besides passing the NCLEX. So that was that. And I do want to show you guys my study plan that I utilize before I get too far in the video. This is just something I made just to help give me like some type of structure. I will say now for the Pharm, like I did not do Pharm every day. And I didn't focus on Pharm too much for the NCLEX. And I will say, like if Pharm is something you struggle with, I will say that Archer, they do have a review video for Pharmacology. And what I did, I made flashcards over the drugs that they use, and they talked about the adverse effects, the patient teachings that you want to go over with the patient, and basically just key points that you need to know about drugs for the NCLEX, and that's it. Those are the only drugs I went over. I didn't go over any other drugs. And to be honest, y'all, like when y'all take the NCLEX, if y'all see like the drug, like it's gonna be something you've seen before. Like it's not nothing like crazy. So don't panic. Don't go too far into pharmacology because that's not needed. Okay, so my next key point is I put study on the go. So like whenever I would like go out, I would like use the Archer app. So they do have an app that you can download on your phone. And my access, it has expired, but this can kind of give you like a snapshot of what it looks like once you purchase it. And just the dashboard where you can like do your questions or whatever, but It's not gonna show because mine's expired already. But I will say Archer, they do give you a study plan. So if you're the type of person that don't feel like making your own, they do provide those for you. They have a 3-week study plan, 6-week, and a 12 weeks. I'm gonna click on the 6 weeks. And this is how the study plan looks. And I hope y'all can see that. So I thought that was pretty cool to help give you, you know, some type of structure before you just hop into studying. Because I could not do it, y'all, towards the beginning. I was like, you know what, like, let me make me a study plan because this is just too much. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the week of my NCLEX, I took my NCLEX on a Thursday. So I would say 4 days leading up to my NCLEX, I made sure that I took those days off from work. And what I would do, I would wake up in the morning as if I'm gonna go take my NCLEX, and I would start taking like a practice quiz at 8 in the morning because that's the time I would take my NCLEX. Well, scheduled to take my NCLEX. So I will complete 75 questions. On Archer, the maximum number of questions you can do per test or readiness assessment is 75 questions. So in my head, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna do 75 questions now and then also on the NCLEX. So if I get to 75 questions and it go to question 76, I'm just gonna take a break. Like, that's gonna be the time I take my break so that I can refocus and, you know, have a moment to myself to kind of, you know, just regain focus. So I made that up in my mind, and then once I did the first set of 75 questions, I will go back and do another 75 questions. So they gave me about 150 questions, which that way, like, if let's say my test did keep going past 75 questions, then I'll be prepared. Like, my mind will be prepared to go to 145 if I needed to. So that's one thing that I did. And let's see. Okay, so the last key point I want to mention is I use Marquet. Y'all, when I say, like, I had Marquet in the back of my mind when I was taking that test, I had Marquet. And I will link everything below in the video as far as, like, what videos I watch for Marquet and also what videos I watch for Archer and Simple Nursing. But if you don't listen to none of his, if you only choose to listen to one lecture for Marquet, I would say listen to the prioritization video, because y'all, like, you are going to get a lot of, I don't know if you're going to get a lot of prioritization, but if you do, Marquet, like, he really helped me get through those type of questions. Like, you guys need to know how to, like, critically think and also how to prioritize patient care. And Marquet, like, he really laid that out, like, you know, the best way that he could, and he did a really good job with that. So let me show y'all. Hold on. So the notes that I use for Marquet, y'all, I don't know who created these notes right here, but they is like heaven sent. Like, these are Marquet notes. Like, somebody typed up his notes from his lecture audios, and y'all, whoever did this, like, I love them so much. Like, thank you, whoever created this. And basically, like, the notes are pretty much like word from word of what his lecture was over. So I would download this. I'll try to attach this below the video as well so you guys can have it. But these videos, I mean, not these videos, but these notes right here are like perfect, y'all. Y'all don't even have to listen to the lecture. Y'all can just, like, read over it. But definitely listen to his prioritization video if you don't listen to nothing else. And I'll also include the other videos that I listen to as well. What else? So once my test cut off at 75 questions, they did give me the next gen questions to take after that. And y'all, like, when they started the next gen questions, like, I was so exhausted after 75 questions, y'all. I went to go take another break. I was like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Like, oh my goodness. No, you know what? I'm lying. I didn't take another break. That was my first break because it cut off at 75. That's when I took my first break. So yeah, I was so exhausted. Like, I was like, oh my God. But I did see those case study questions, and it's a lot of reading, and from what I could tell, it seems like you need to know like the pathophysiology behind the disease process, and you need to know how to compare and contrast signs and symptoms. Like how do signs and symptoms compare to like other disease process, and yeah, so you need to know that. And then it seemed like as the case studies went on, like they got kind of easier towards the end. And then you still will have your multiple choice. You're still gonna have your saddle. What else? I think that's the only thing. I think those are the only next gen questions that I can remember. But as far as the content, like it's still the same content you guys need to know. So you still can use simple nursing. Archer has next gen questions, y'all. Like yeah, they have next gen questions on there. If you was, if you wasn't sure on if you should purchase it or not, they do have those type of questions on there. But yeah, y'all, I used Archer for my Q bank, and that was pretty much it. But y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. Please go ahead and like this video if you found it helpful. Be sure to subscribe, y'all. I'm trying to get my subscribers up, and y'all, I'm going to try to stay consistent with my videos. Like, y'all, I'm so happy. Like, I am a registered nurse, y'all. Can y'all believe it? Like, I am done with nursing school, BSN, RN. I am officially done, and y'all just stay tuned. And your girl got a new residency job, which starts in February. I plan to come back on and talk about that, how I interviewed for that position, and things like that. So if you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe and like this video, and also share if you don't mind. But anyway, y'all, bye. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.